Joanne.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
Oh, thanks for having us in. This is, I feel like I'm just getting a little small taste here.
Oh, yes.
I feel like you got a little bit more things here.
Yep, it's 30,000 square feet.
30,000 square feet?
Yes.
That's ridiculous. So, Joanne, tell me a little bit about the cannery here.
Well, the cannery used to be an old canning factory, and they used to can tomatoes, pickles, and sauerkraut.
Oh, wow.
And out in the entryway, we do have a few pictures of like their first tractor, some of the workers in their field and stuff. It's quite interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, there is just so many items that you have here.
Yep, it's kind of a unique, one of a kind, store. Like I say, 30,000 square feet, that can hold a lot of merchandise.
Right. So, I mean, as far as what are you specializing in here?
Well, it's all gifts or home decor. So, there isn't really anything here that you can't buy anywhere, but I think it's the whole ambiance of it.
Sure.
The old building and the displays, of just how it's put together.
Right. Yeah, it's so much as we're just going through it, and I can just see it's room after room after room that you've got here.
Right. Where we just entered now, this is called our neck of the woods.
Your neck of the woods.
So it's all done for the outdoor lodgy, people.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your history. How long you've owned the shop for? How long?
28 years now.
28 years.
Yes.
That is incredible.
It is. It's a lot of 7 days a week.
That's a lot of 7 days a week. Because you are open 7 days a week. Is it 9 to 5, correct?
Yes.
9 to 5, 7 days a week. Yeah, that's going to add up over time. I guess, being in it this long, what's kept you in it? What's driven you to stay this involved?
Well, first of all, you have to have great employees, which I do.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to enjoy what you do, which I do. I love to decorate. I love going to market and, seeing what's new.
Right.
And it's a happy place. When people, leave here, they've got something, whether it's a candle or something to hang on their wall, but it's feel good.
Right. Oh, yeah. There's literally something for everybody.
Yes.
And having 30,000 square feet, you kind of have to have that, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So I think what's interesting about this is just the amount of items that you have. Tell me a little bit about your process of sourcing these things, or what strikes you when you want to enter something into your store.
Well, after being in business this long, you kind of get a feel of not everything sells.
Right.
So when I go to market, I usually try and find something new, and I can be there for just a day, and I can pretty much tell you what's coming up new.
Sure.
So then you go for that, and I shop for my customer. There's a lot of different places that you can buy pretty much the same thing, but I always try and find the best price so I can pass that on to my customers.
Oh, that's great. That's important because these are items that a lot of people would enjoy in their home. So being price conscious that's really something I once again, I can't get over just the immense size.
I know.
So has it always been this size, or have you expanded, or?
Well, when we first opened, actually, we had a lot of antiques, and downstairs was going to be just antiques. Well, sorry to say, if you just had antiques, you're not gonna.
Right.
So then I started incorporating, gifts on both floors. And I think a lot of it is just the volume of the different items. And you can come here and find pretty much, not everything, but a lot of things.
Right. And if you're looking for a specific thing, whether it is that outdoor theme, or if it is sun garden, those kind of things, you can find items and build a whole room decor around that one section. Yeah. And also, I noticed you're doing fudge too.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so I don't know, it's probably been 20 years ago. I started making fudge, and we had fudge and ice cream. We do sell caramels and some little small candy bars and stuff like that. But after the pandemic, sorry to say, things just changed. And so we still make it, but we box it and we sell it at the counter instead of in in the fudge shop itself.
Sure, sure. Yeah, being able to adapt. Listen, you've been in this business for 28 years. And you've learned to adapt. You understand, you don't need to, be too bullheaded and stick with just one thing.
Right, and then, but you can, compete with yourself too. I know there's other things sometimes say, well, you should try this. And I always say, I'm happy with what I have. Let someone else do that,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you can't have everything.
No, I feel like you're almost trying to do 30,000 square feet. This is, that's great. I love Prairie du Chien. I love coming up here. It's one of my favorite towns in this region, and I enjoy it so much. But tell me a little bit about the community. What do you love about it?
It's a small town feel. We do get a lot of, of course, it's kind of like a destination. People come from all over, and being on the Mississippi, of course, we draw people. A lot of campers, boaters, what have you. But it's a really great little town. It's a beautiful town.
Yeah.
I like the, when you go to the grocery store, you have to go, you're 45 minutes, you're there 5 minutes to get your groceries, but 35 minutes to talk to everybody.
Right.
And it's nice knowing that, things will happen here that just doesn't happen in bigger cities, It's more of a family-based, and it's a great town.
As far as you've been in this business for so long, tell me about maybe a story that you've really made somebody really happy or something. Is there one story that where you really supported your customer?
I think actually we've several different things. Two come to mind, and one is that there was a bus tour going through, and they called and wanted to know if I would stay open a little bit later because they wouldn't get in town, and I said, well, sure. So it was just me here. So the people came in and they're walking around, and upstairs it's called Bluff Street, and there's individual stores in there. And so when they were all ready to leave, this lady come up to me and she says, I just wanted to thank you. And I said, oh, okay. And she says, when I came in, she says, I was just down. She says, I just was having a bad day. She says, but after walking through here, she says, my spirits has been lifted and I feel much better. And I just thought that, that made me feel good that she felt good. Another one is we had a gentleman call us and say that his fiance, or soon-to-be fiance, just loved it here, and he wanted to know if he could come here and propose to her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I said, sure. So we had done all these things, and so he was at the top of the steps, and anyhow, she came in, and she started walking down the steps, and then he met her there and proposed. It was pretty, it was neat.
That's
was
great.
Different.
That's great. 28 years, you are going to have those kinds of stories because just the number of customers that you're serving here.
Sure.
It shows a real variety. I love the variety in this store, and it's amazing that you're able to cater to your customers the way you do.
And like I say, I always say there's no I's here, it's we. We will build a business. And like I say, I've got great employees.
Yeah, that makes all the difference.
It does. It does.
Oh, Joanne, thanks so much for having us.
Oh, you bet. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.